This might not be the best cold open for the audio listeners, but Jason Aponte, we back up.
Victory hat.
Starts now.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Ride Option Podcast. Oh my goodness. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a victory hat Monday, Jason Aponte, but here we are. 49ers win on Saturday, but that's not the big news. The big news is everybody wants to know. How's your Monday, Jason Aponte?
Doing great, man. There's Monday Night Football on today. I'm not going to be able to watch, obviously, but thankfully with Pro Football Writers, induction, you get free NFL Plus. So that's pretty cool. So I'll be able to go back and watch. But the Ravens' 24-game preseason streak is on the line, and I got this close to smashing the money line on them.
Okay.
And I thought, you know what? This might be the week that I eventually, go ahead and just, go in on this lock, and then they lose to the Commanders, and then all I would get is incessantly trolled by Andrew Pasquini with left hand up.
I mean, that's going to happen either way, really. This is the Sprint Right Option Podcast. Any chance I could say left hand up, who are we Commanders, I will take that.
Forget it. Never mind. Ravens up 7-0 on a quick 26-yard touchdown from Lamar Jackson.
It's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
Game over.
Honestly,
damn it. Why did I bet money line Ravens? Damn it.
There's nothing more straightforward than preseason football. It's always the first team that scores wins. That's definitely how it works, Jason. No, man, I'm glad you're having a good day. I'm glad you didn't degenerately gamble on preseason football, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, man, it was a good weekend. It was my mom's birthday. Watched a little bit of Niners football. Niners picked up that dub. Is Zane Gonzalez on the hot seat because he's not taking the kicks? We know that. We'll talk about that in a little bit, Jason. Hot seat. Because
he needs more reps.
Done. He needs. We'll talk about reps in a minute here, Jason. I'm sure you know who we're talking about. So big story, obviously, coming out on this Monday afternoon/evening. San Francisco 49ers pick up that all-important first preseason victory, 21-20. We could put the pitchforks away. Jake Moody hits a field goal as time expires to put the game away. Although it was a very stressful.
All right, okay.
I thought it was no good for a second there. Okay. A lot of people in my house thought it was no good for a second there.
Okay, because I just look. I'm glad he made it, but my God, I don't care who you are. If you want to troll me, I don't care if you love the pick. There is no way that you are super confident that anything is ever going to go in when he's out there.
I thought that kick was no good until the refs signaled the good.
They just wanted to get out of there. They were just let's just get out of here, man. Let's just go. Let's just go.
I mean, it would have been over either way. It wasn't like an overtime kick.
Well, it's like in Little League, right? Like if a kid can't find the plate, you're just gonna start calling strikes because you're gonna be there all day. So they were just let's just get out of here, man. Let's just go.
Niners win. FTTB is what those refs said. Faithful to the Bay. That kick is good. Jay Cruz, hopefully Andrew doesn't fly away with that hat. Yeah, I appreciate it. California is indeed. You see, we got hit with a Category 1 hurricane, I believe it was.
Are y'all serious?
And then there was an earthquake, man. California, you want to talk about on the hot seat, Zane Gonzalez and the state of California.
Well, I mean, that's the price you pay for having such good weather all the time.
Apparently it is. It's still very hot in Sacramento. I don't like it. No, Jason. So as we always do with these post-game breakdowns, we're going to go position by position. We're going to start obviously with the quarterback position. You want to start kicker? Okay, kicker. No, quarterback position. I'm going to start. We'll just go chronological order on who played. So we'll do 3 seconds on Brock Purdy. 27 and a half minutes on Sam Darnold, what it felt like. And then we'll just do another 5 on Trey Lance because that's kind of how the pecking order was on Saturday. I have no notes on Brock Purdy's performance other than he's back. That's good to see. We're talking, you go onto this podcast a couple days after the NFC Championship game. I'm sure we were talking about, well, is Purdy even going to be able to play next season? Nobody really knew. So my really big note is Brock Purdy's back way before people thought, at least when the injury first happened. Mm-hmm. And that's good to see. I mean, all he really did, I guess, is probably the best thing for Kyle Shanahan is he threw the ball where Kyle Shanahan wanted him to, except on the scramble.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really have any in-depth thoughts on Brock Purdy.
No, that's how the offense looked at the end of the year, and I think that's all you really want to see. That's all you can hope for. And yeah, look, he got them right down against the starters, and I'm sure that's going to be a point of contention as we talk about the other quarterbacks for some reason. Even though when we talk about Trey Lance, everybody's going to forget that when everybody got excited about what Brock Purdy did, he did it against third and fourth stringers.
Yeah,
but hey, who wants to keep things 100 and keep energy the same, right? When you have a narrative to push, but.
Yeah.
The good news is that he was healthy. Like, Kyle Shanahan talked about him getting down, but he looked just like the guy that was there at the end of the year. So, yeah, I mean, nothing but good vibes across. If Christian McCaffrey's there and not Ty Davis-Price, who can't pass block, a cone at this point, and possibly Trent Williams is there, they probably score a touchdown there. So you got to feel really good about where the offense is at this point.
Yeah, no, you got to feel good. It looked good. It was fun. I tweeted that the Niners are winning the Super Bowl, even though it's preseason
20-0
too. It felt good to see like that. That's really my big takeaway. If you want in-depth analysis on Brock Purdy, you could find it elsewhere right now. All I'm gonna say is it made me feel good that he was back out there, and that's I think all anybody should have taken. Sam Darnold. Kind of the same thing with Trey Lance's last week, 11 for 14, 109 yards, a touchdown, and interception. It wasn't the prettiest. It definitely wasn't the prettiest.
You sure?
It wasn't. He had
no. I'm just saying because I got to listen to Greg Papa and Tim Ryan. You sure it wasn't the prettiest?
I like to believe that if ESPN had only picked one Sam Darnold highlight, like they did with Trey Lance, it was the one where Chris Conley had a step on his guy and Sam Darnold tried to throw it 18 yards short. And that's nothing. That's more of poking fun at ESPN than Sam Darnold because like things like that happen. Like you're going to underthrow balls. I'm not going to overreact to it. It's just, it's not encouraging to say. Like that's kind of all it is. Like we're talking QB2 at this point. I get it. It's not the most thrilling stuff. But, like, the numbers are there. It's just he didn't make me tingle like Trey Lance did it later in the game. Like, does that make sense? Like, he did his job. He did what he could. But, like, it's just – it's every other quarterback the Niners have had since Colin Kaepernick, really. It's like, yeah, man, he shows flashes. Is Sam Darnold going to be on a graphic with Andrew Luck and what's the quarterback and kid, Patrick Mahomes? Probably not, but like, man, he could have moments, but it's like every quarterback I've seen in my life, man. It's fine.
You can win with it, but it's just boring.
You could win with it, but it's just fine. Like,
no,
that's just kind of where I'm at with Darnold.
What I was talking about, and Chris Wall brings it up, and he says, Greg Papa, great coverage by the defender. Darnold underthrows receiver by 18 yards. It's the touchdown pass that he threw to Coletto. It was to the fullback in the flat, wide open. Tim Ryan's like, "Oh my God, what a decision!" I'm just like, I'm like, "All right, bro, calm down." And then literally the next drive, Trey Lance throws the ball to a guy in the flat, and they're like, "Oh, he's got to see the field a little bit better." I'm just like, "This is some nasty ass work, nasty work."
It's crazy. Well, the reason Sam Darnold gets that much respect, Jason, is because he's apparently 40 years old. Because Greg Papa, or was it Ryan or Papa, said that he played in that great USC offense under Pete Carroll, who hasn't been there since 2007.
Hey, no, hold on. You can't say anything bad about Greg Papa or Tim Ryan because people are going to get their pitchforks out. But my goodness, man, thank God I don't have to listen to those guys at all, man. Like, I promise you, I am happy. You guys can take a dump on Joe Buck all you want. You guys can get upset at whoever. I will take any other NFL announcer over Greg Papa and Tim Ryan. Sorry.
So we broke off there. Thank you for the donation, Christian. Return of the Banjo Man. That's all I got to say on that. But yeah, so what were your thoughts on Darnold? Like just meh.
Whatever, man.
Yeah,
don't care. It's just like look. There's two things that 49er fans obsess about more than any other fan base in the history of football. It's backup quarterbacks and kickers and punters. Literally no other fan base gives a damn about their backup quarterbacks or who their kicker or punter is. But this is where we are. Look, man, The thing is nobody wants to see their backup quarterback play. It's the reason they're the backup, right? Nobody feels good about him being a backup and saying, oh, well, our starting quarterback's out. We've got this guy, though. We're good. Nobody feels good about that. So for me, it's just like what you have to remember with Sam Darnold, what you have to remember with the guy that we're about to talk about is that the guy that's calling plays is always going to have guys running wide open regardless. It's going to be up to the quarterback to hit those receivers. So as much as you may not believe in one quarterback or the other, believe in the fact that there are going to be guys running butt-ass naked the entire wide open, like the whole time. Like that's what you should be more worried about than anything. The guys like throwing the football to the flat, that's not impressive. And it's just the way that they were describing that touchdown throw. What a decision. What decision? Like, literally, what decision? The guy, it was probably designed to go to the flat right there. And Darnold's been taking that all season as a 49er. Like,
yeah, man. And where my concern comes in is, like, I know we talked a little bit or quite a bit last week about the Trey Lance intercepted touchdown that happened, about how poor, and that throw is just a little late, right? There has not been a worse throw in the preseason in my mind than that Darnold attempt to Chris Conley, because that you as a quarterback who's been in the league for 5 years now, as somebody who is fighting for this all important quarterback 2 spot, you gotta hit that throw, man. And like, it wasn't even that you gotta hit it, you gotta at least get it. I'd rather you overthrow it, because then at least you got enough on it. But to underthrow it, all you're doing is setting it up for a potential interception. And so, listen, I'm not trying to harp on Darnold. It's nothing against Darnold. It's just the reason he's here is he's every other quarterback the Niners have had under Kyle Shanahan. Just kind of whatever, man. And that's, at some point, I want something a little spicier than what Sam Darnold is cooking up a little bit. Birdman, I thought hurricane season was over.
You get that? Please tell me you get that.
I might, maybe. We got, dude, listen, my 88, I don't remember. What is that from?
Pineapple Express, man.
I don't, never seen it. I apologize.
What?
Never seen it. I apologize.
Birdman Jr.
I'm not
excellent.
Cool.
Excellent.
So now let's dive into the quarterback conversation that I'm here for. I said 2 weeks ago. I said 3 weeks ago. It's time to trade Trey Lance and see what happens. I don't think they should do it, but maybe it's time to do it. Then a week ago, I said, don't trade him. He's probably going to lose a QB2 battle to Sam Darnold. I don't like to emotionally react to these things, Jason. I think one of the things you like about me is I'm more calculated with my takes.
Than I am, right? 100%.
Not that you are. I think your takes are smarter than mine. I just like
I don't know
throw
about that.
mine out. Oh, you're smart. I do, Axel. That's absolutely true. I haven't even started watching the film yet. My mom's birthday was this weekend, as I said. I need to start doing that tonight. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Trey Lance needs to be in the quarterback one conversation. I'm sticking with it, and I'm not necessarily saying he's better than Purdy. I'm just saying that what he did at the end of that game on Saturday, he was fitting balls into windows that I haven't seen fit into windows by a 49ers quarterback in a while. He was playing with this confidence, this confidence that we hadn't seen. So here's my solution, Jason. If you want to get into the brain of Andrew Pasquini and how we deal with this, and before all the Brock, because I know there's anti-Brock or pro-Brock Purdy people that might be watching this, maybe some with, I don't know, a cartoon as an avatar. Don't clip this and take this seriously. But this is a situation where if Andrew Pasquini was running a 49ers Madden franchise, and I had this exact situation with these two quarterbacks, Trey Lance would get the first month of the regular season. I would give him weeks 1 through 4. And I would play with him and be like, well, let's see how he feels. If he doesn't feel right, we'll go to Purdy and see how that works. And obviously you can't do this because this is real life. Kyle Shanahan needs to do that. Give Lance the first 4 weeks. This isn't a real take, but give Lance the first 4 weeks. See how it looks, because there is one big concern that I have with him, and it's something that's been talked about and something we saw last week, and they talk about it in practice. He starts slow, and then he picks it up. And how do you fix that, Jason Aponte? Say it with me. Reps, not rips. So how do you get him reps? Start him. Give him practices against first-team defense. Let him run with the first team. And then, as I said, this is very Madden-esque in my thinking. If after week 4 you're still having the issue where he's inconsistent to start games and he's taken a little bit to heat up, then go to Purdy, make the flip. As I said, that's oversimplifying it. You can't just tell the guy you told he's going to start all year that, hey, wait 4 weeks, see what happens. Like, you can't do that. But my God, what Trey Lance did in that final quarter after everything, because Jason, I'll show the damn text right now. What did I send to the chat at 8 p.m. after Trey Lance had a bad throw?
He's cooked.
Lance is done. And yet here I am after 1/4 quarter. I saw things, man. I saw things, and I just don't know how people can deny what they saw. And I saw your tweet. We had fun with it. Oh, it's against the third stringers. Hate to break it to you guys. As fun as Ronnie Bell has been, he's not going to be a first, second, or third stringer. I promise Cam Latu's not going to be the starting tight end. Wolf, yeah, exactly. Thank you for the donation. Never been that pumped watching a preseason game. He made me feel something, man. No. And nothing against Brock Purdy. This isn't a conversation about who's better. I am just saying, if you can find what Trey Lance gave you in the fourth quarter of that game and get it a little more consistently, and that consistency comes with the reps, Jason Aponte, maybe the 49ers have a franchise quarterback for the first time in my life. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing the thought out. That's my little spiel.
Love the passion, Andrew Pascal.
Thank you.
Sometimes you've got to let it rip. Sometimes you stare down a rant, man, and you turn it down, and you just got to let it rip. My point when I was talking about Trey Lance, and because everybody's going to discount what he did because it was against third and fourth stringers, was every time that Brock Purdy did that in last 2 preseason games of last season, everyone said, oh my God, look at the kid. This is going to be my way of explaining to you that there is some nasty ass work going on against Trey Lance. One guy did it against third and fourth stringers, and you said, man, maybe they might got a guy there. I want to see Purdy play. One guy does it, and it's just third and fourth stringers. Mm-hmm. One guy throws a pass into the flat on Brandon Ayuk on a misdirection play action. Oh, look at him operating the offense. One guy did the same exact thing against the Las Vegas Raiders on the only touchdown drive that they had. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I share the same sentiment that he needs to start. I think that you have a tough time telling this team that Brock Purdy won't start. But it's a funny thing at how coming off the injury, getting some reps, and doing things that people were talking crazy about him for last week doing. In terms of, can't read the field. Well, the Cam Latu touchdown, he looked left, held the safety, looked right, let it rip.
Yeah.
The Willie Snead throw into a window, that was a keyhole. Literally the type of throw that he made in the Arizona game to Brandon Ayuk on the sideline that only, and you will not change my mind on this, he's the only quarterback that could have made that throw with that. You have to have that type of arm to make that throw. You cannot have Brock Purdy's arm and try to fit that ball there. You can't. Just don't. You can't. For me, more than anything, there was ups, there was downs. But I want you to come real close, guys, so I can say it really good so we can just listen. He's only played 6 games. My goodness. Look what happens. Rome wasn't built in a day. Many quarterbacks have looked very bad 6 weeks. Get that off your head. Many quarterbacks have looked bad 6 weeks into their career. Many quarterbacks have looked bad 3 years into their career. Many quarterbacks have had struggles early on. Let the kid play, man. I'm just so happy to see him play. And you know what? There's a lot of people that you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. Mm-hmm. Oh, I want to see him progress, and I want to see him go through progressions on the field. Well, he did that. Oh, well, it was against third and fourth stringers. Okay. What do you want him to do? Yeah. Because if he didn't, and let's just say he didn't, go through progressions and he looked poor, why can't he do it against third and fourth stringers? The Trey Lance discourse has unveiled people who want their narrative to be right, people who want to be right and not get it right, and people who have lost all sense of objectivity. Mm-hmm. If you can't praise him for the things that you were just knocking him down about last week, then just say, I don't like Trey Lance, and I don't want to see him succeed, and I will give him credit for nothing. Literally, that's all you have to say. I would respect that more than the flip-flopping, than the misremembering. Well, Brock Purdy looked good in the preseason against 3rd and 4th stringers. Stop. Just stop. Look, I would respect it more if people just came out and they said, I do not like the kid. I do not want to see him succeed. I want to see Brock Purdy only succeed. And I would respect that more. I won't take your advice or your opinion. No. But I would respect that more because you are saying what you mean as opposed to dancing around what you're really saying. That's my
and I just want to clear. I'm not saying he right now he has to start over. I'm just saying he's got to be in the conversation with what we saw because yes, there was absolutely some throws that happened. The interception obviously was a very bad one. I think he had a target to I think it was Braden Willis in the middle of the field that he didn't see the line. But and I'll give you that those weren't impressive throws. But once he got hot in the second half, or sorry, not the second half, the fourth quarter, or later in the fourth quarter, those throws weren't happening. They were on time, on the money. And just as I said, it's weird. Once he gets into a flow, it's interesting. It's just I'm here to start a dialogue, and you make the point.
It's funny,
and you make the point, Jason Aponte, that there's certain groups of people that want to see him fail. And for example, I had a tweet. I woke up yesterday morning feeling a little spicy, and I tweeted, "Hey, Trey Lance should be in the QB1 conversation. This is my overreaction to the game, but I'm sticking to it." And I had a lot of people in my comments saying, "Hey, overreaction, but I get it, blah, blah, blah." And then, as I said, somebody quote tweeted me, a certain person who has a cartoon. We'll call him Cartoon Man. Not going to name names, but he's a very pro Brock Purdy, very pro Jimmy Garoppolo. We might know
very anti Trey Lance.
Very anti-Trey Lance. We might know him well from his Jimmy Garoppolo days. And he quote tweeted me, nothing terrible. But then all of a sudden, people in my comment, the kind of language that was in my comments thrown at me kind of changed. And people were more negative, including somebody saying, and this was my favorite one, this guy said, "You're a fucking idiot." But the guy who said that, his picture is one of those Bored Apes that Eminem tried to make cool that are worth 7 cents. Who's the idiot now? It's kind of funny to me, but it's just man, I see, I get it. There's corners, the 49ers Twitter. There's just a lot of weirdos out there. And that in my mind, and this person has me blocked, so shouldn't be making fun of them, but we're getting dangerously close to where we just have 497,000 people on 49ers Twitter who give off very big, "I'd rather lose with Jimmy than win with Tom Brady" energy. And it's weird to me, man. It's weird to me, man.
The thing is this. The factions, everyone wants to talk about the division.
Yeah.
What I want to talk about.
I like how I got people guessing too.
Right.
I didn't mean for that. I forgot our comment section likes this stuff. So I love that they're guessing. Nobody's gotten it right yet.
Right. It's not Flav. It's not Lobs. And Lobs sent out a tweet.
Lobs had a tweet, man.
He said his eyes were open.
That I sent to Jason Aponte. I'm like, oh my God, Lobs is in on this too?
Yeah, no. And I went into his comments and I said respect, man. Respect. Look, what I fear is more frustrating around the factions of Purdy only, Trey only, even I saw somebody, and somebody who's constantly in my comments, Sam Darnold QB1, and I'm just you're a sick human being. Is it really has made you lose objectivity? When I pop on the film and I watch Lance in the beginning, that throw is poor. There's times where he makes turnover-worthy throws. I counted four turnover-worthy throws. That's not my opinion. That's objectively what's happening. But if you can objectively say that you saw things at the end of that game that were better, his process was better, he was letting it rip, the windows he was throwing it into, he wasn't bailing from the pocket, he was staying in the pocket. If your only excuse for that is 3rd and 4th stringers, then you've lost objectivity. And I fear you might not know what you're looking at, and you might not know what you're watching, which I think I can let go a little bit more than the absolutes that are being spoken about this young man. So for me, it's less about who you want to start. I think we all want anybody to help win this team the 6th Lombardi. Unless if you can't objectively say at the end of that game that you weren't impressed with the way, especially considering the way Trey Lance started, because it felt like he was ready to fold. Like you could kind of feel the tension of like him folding up, and kind of what Steve Young was talking about. And every time he's on the field, he's got to be perfect. But if you believe that this team's not behind him, just look at Brandon Ayuk after he throws that touchdown to Cameron Latu. He literally ran onto the field. He couldn't even contain himself. And if you don't believe, and I think that one more thing, 49ers Twitter, I think, has put us in a space where this is all 49ers fans.
Yeah.
And it's not. Because when Trey Lance came on that field, the ovation was loud, was very, very loud. So I think we need to stop categorizing 49er fans as 49ers Twitter, because 49ers Twitter is a small percentage of actual real-blooded, touching grass 49ers fans that actually understand things. That's another thing.
And just like for the photo evidence, you can't see the timestamp. Oh, you can't even read it. But that's my text that I sent to the chat. It's over for Trey. 8 p.m. Said it, and like here I am, man. Like you just got to watch the games with a, dare I say, a blank space of a mind, not to drop a Taylor Swift reference. Go in,
Please don't.
Say, hey, this is what I saw, and this is how I'm reacting. Because Jason, we've said it a million times before. I don't care who wins the quarterback battle, because I don't have a say in it. I don't care. I want whoever's best for this team. Do I personally think that Trey Lance might be best for them right now? Yeah, that's how I feel right now. But if it's Brock Purdy, I'm not going to temper tantrum and be upset about it. It's who Kyle Shanahan felt. Yeah.
And that's the other thing.
I'm not a Swiftie. I just made a reference.
That's the other thing, Andrew, is the people that have dug themselves into a stance where they need the other person to fail just so they could go back and pull up their receipts and be right. And it's just, and Sacktown Izzy, we're fans really fighting at the game.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. I just want to say this. I just want to say this. Preseason games are known for fights because those people can't afford to go to regular season games. So sometimes it's like a little bit of like, they let the riffraff in.
I thought because like Brad Graham, obviously, like the content
viral tweet, Brad Graham.
I thought maybe
that tweet did numbers.
I thought maybe he saw the video and like reacted, because that's some of what he does. And then I saw him posting videos from his seat of the game, and I'm like, that looks like the same kind of area. Wait, that was just him there. They picked a fight in front of one of the biggest
I was going to say, nobody was going at Brad Graham. That man's a bear. You're not. You listen to me. Brad Graham is one of the sweetest, nicest. Brad Graham, Golden Graham, got it. Brad Graham is one of the sweetest, nicest, most gentle men ever. But I swear on Jesus' sandals,
he's an offensive lineman.
I'm not picking a fight with Bradley Graham. He is going to rip your face off. Don't let the ginger beer fool you. Go.
No. Jason, we've gone 30 minutes talking about the quarterback situation, and I'm very proud of myself because I didn't drop a blank for blank reference. So that's pretty cool. And I love Jose. Jose's very cool. I love Jose. That's just a light joke. Jose's very good. I just saw that was a thing. I wanted to make the joke. Okay, Jason, is that bad? I'll edit this. It was not like we're live or anything. No, I love Jose. I love Jose. Jose's a very good guy. Unfortunately,
don't worry. We'll edit that in.
Here, I'll hand up myself. I submitted something that I wrote, and I caught it at the last second, where I called Jordan Mason Jordan Mitchell every time. So things like that sneak through. Yeah.
So what?
I wrote things like that sneak through.
I wrote an article talking about bye weeks, and I said that the 49ers came off the bye week in 2019, and it was wrong. It was the wrong team. Like, it just happens.
Yeah, things happen. No, I wanted to drop the reference. So, I don't know, man. Running backs, you have much to say other than TDP missing a block?
TDP can't block anybody on Twitter. I mean, he's literally Elon Musk. He's trying to stop like blocking people. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's the quickest way for you to not play football. Like, that's the quickest way. Going through it, I wrote an article today about the offensive snaps, and today it came out about pass blocking. The only person with a worse pass blocking grade than Tyrion Davis-Price was John Feliciano. Tyrion Davis-Price was dinged at 15.7 pass blocking. John Feliciano, 11.6. and he had 9 pass blocking attempts, and because he's obviously a lineman, CDP had 2. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. That is the quickest way to not get in there. On the other hand, when you look at JP Mason, his pass blocking, if I can find it, 69.7. I understand that we were all excited about the things we heard in training camp. Andrew left. Let me fix this. I understand that everybody was excited about what we heard in training camp, but unfortunately, it is JP Mason's ahead of Tyrion Davis-Price. Not only for pass blocking, but for his Wi-Fi went out. He'll come back on. But forget the pass blocking. He's just a better runner than TDP is. Like, it's just strange that TDP is like hailed as this downhill guy, but he doesn't set up blocks. He does not get to the spots. When Elijah Mitchell comes back, the pecking order is going to be Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, JP Mason, Ty Davis-Price. That's it. And this is probably your best example for training camp hype. You can't really hit guys and how guys look. It's frustrating. And it goes to, again, third-round picks, third-round running backs. Why? Why can't we get it right? Why can't there ever be a third-round pick that we're like, hell yeah, like nailed it? So it's much more concerning about JP Mason being better than Ty Davis-Price when somebody was there that is undrafted and another guy who literally went to LSU. I don't know, man. It's frustrating. You just got to hope that Christian McCaffrey plays the whole season. You just got to hope that Elijah Mitchell's around to back him up just in case it gets a little hairy after that. Something that we thought was going to be a strength based on training camp, based on the way he was being talked about. Unfortunately, it's not working out right now. You obviously don't want to overreact to preseason, but pass blocking, it doesn't matter if you're blocking the UPS driver that's not going to be playing for that other team or you're blocking their first string. You've got to be able to get a body. He literally put Brock Purdy in harm's way, and that's the play that Kyle was talking about. Just get down. He thought he was going to get hurt. That's how bad it looked. So Ty Davis-Price, man, I don't know, man. I really don't know, like, what's going on. The quickest way to end up in the doghouse, dropping passes, missing blocks right now, But Jason, we got Moody in the third. Only proves my point. Just a little bit more about the third-round picks. And then Latu, right? Latu has his catch. That looks good, but third-round pick. Are we all doomed for third-round picks? I don't know. I'm sure we'll talk about Ambry Thomas once, Andrew comes back. But my goodness, man, the Ty Davis-Price thing is just, it's frustrating. It's extremely frustrating, especially when this organization has shown so much about how they've been able to find guys later on. Andrew said he's going to pod from the comments section. But it's really just frustrating because return on investment, third round, he can't be your fourth best running back. Can't. He just can't. Obviously that changes. Christian McCaffrey changes things. He probably could have been the third best running back if Christian McCaffrey doesn't show up. But would the 49ers have felt the need to go get him if, they thought so much about Ty Davis-Price? Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. So I'll continue and we'll keep going. And that's the running back core. Wide receivers, Deebo Samuel. Looks like 2021 Deebo Samuel. That's cool. That's real cool. Brandon Ayuk, not worried about it at all. Ronnie Bell is a hooper. He just needs to clean up those drops. They turn into interceptions. They hit you in the face. They bounce up. They hit you in the chest. They bounce up. I have no concerns. Juwan Jennings looked very good as well, too. Willie Snead even looked good. I mean, I don't think he's going to make this team. Tay Martin had an egregious drop on one of Trey Lance's better throws of the day, which was like mirroring that practice throw that Javi threw out there. It was literally off platform, and it was a dime right in this man's chest. Here we go. He's back. And Andrew Pasquini, we're just talking wide receivers now at this point. Are you good?
I hope so. Comcast apparently preseason time for them as well. The internet just keeps going out, but I should be good until I'm not good. We're talking receivers.
Yes.
It was pretty cool seeing Deebo Samuel. That was cool. Good to see him running through tackles. I also was very happy to see Brandon Ayuk get a catch just because he's probably my favorite 49er. The receiver I want to talk about, Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell. And I was going to, in my winner and loser article, I was going to make him a loser before the fourth quarter happened because he had his second drop pass that resulted in an interception, which is not ideal for a receiver to have. But I think you can look past that when you're going 7 receptions, 114 yards, 16.3 yards per reception along a 43. And what's the nickname I've seen on the streets of Twitter? Diet Debo, Skinny Debo, Birdman said. Diet Debo. I mean, I don't think you can make really much of a better impression in preseason than really Ronnie Bell has. So I want to shout him out. That's absolutely amazing. Like, are the drops a slight concern? Yeah. But then again, we're talking 49ers receivers. When aren't the drops a concern? I guess it's more of a concern with Bell because they're resulting in interceptions. But to see what he's done in the preseason, I mean, I think to me he's a lock to make this roster at this point, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it has to be him, right? I think the Chris Conley propaganda, it's still there, and he may make it just based on being a veteran. But Ronnie Bell looks like he fits right in. Hanging out with Debo, big brother, little brothers, he's knocking guys down. Just get the drops in order. Debo drops the ball a lot. Kittle drops the ball a lot. Juwan Jennings struggled with drops all last year, in training camp. So, again, 49ers hit in the 7th round. It's not like they took him in the 3rd round, Andrew Pasquini. They took him in the 7th round.
How much better would you feel if Ronnie Bell went 99th and Jake Moody went in the 7th round?
So much fucking better.
Much better. There's a player I owe an apology
Wait, hold on. Can we do this real quick?
Yeah,
absolutely. Can we do this real quick? This will help me get over all that. Can we just live in our own world where Ronnie Bell was taking 99 and Jake Moody was taken with the last pick?
Let's do it. Nobody lies on the internet.
It's our world. That's it. I don't care anymore. There was no 3rd round kicker pick. I don't care that Jake Moody
community notes lie. Community notes lie all the time. We'll just start tweeting that.
Yeah, exactly. Who needs to? When you live on X, you don't need to live in truth, right? Like, you don't need to live in like what can actually happen. So look, here, guys, we figured it out. You will not hear me complaining about Jake Moody anymore in the 3rd round because he never got taken in the 3rd round. He got taken in the 7th round. Ronnie Bell got taken in 99. Hell yeah. I love this idea. I love it.
I'm working on a graphic getting made.
Please do it. Do it.
I just texted somebody. I'm going to try. We're going to try and get a graphic
made. And Purdy was taken at 3 and Lance was taken with the last pick. You see how easily we're fixing things? Wow. We're fixing everything. We are fixing everything. Look at us healing the world.
Yeah, I like it. No, the one player I want to apologize to is Cam Latu. And I like to imagine that he watched this podcast and hear me call for his spot. And I'm sure a lot of people are calling for his spot. 3 receptions, 46 yards, and a touchdown. He went up and got that Trey Lance ball. What a turnaround. What a turnaround from him, just in general. I mean, is it kind of bad that my first thought was on his first catch was, hey, he didn't fumble it. That's pretty nifty. But I mean, to see him respond like he did, that's something huge. And now I think maybe he's back on a roster spot.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fair. I think that's actually fair. I wouldn't say anything against that at this point. But yeah, I think that's fair, Andrew.
Thank you. Okay, well, that's all I got. See, I start to feel rushed when we spend 30 minutes on quarterbacks and we have 9 other positions to talk about. But hey, I like it. Let's go offensive line. And I have nothing to complain about the offensive line. Maybe the penalties. I believe my thing was the Niners had, was it 10 penalties on Saturday? 9 penalties. 5 came from the offensive line. We didn't learn anything about the offensive line that we haven't learned yet, Jason Aponte. All we know right now is, my God, none of the starters can get hurt. Like, please,
No.
none of the starters get hurt. And that's your offensive line talk.
Well, I will say this.
Well,
Let's say this.
I don't know about that one, Jim.
I don't know.
Tony
Let's
Romo.
See. Corey Luciano played at center. He's 16 snaps, 79.4 pass blocking. Jason Poe, 45 total snaps, 79 pass blocking grade. Nick Sikel, 79 pass blocking grade, 45 snaps. That's markedly better.
Yeah.
And everyone's darling, Il Manning, 47 total snaps, 50 pass blocking grade.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We're just going to keep on going through progressions, all that stuff. And at the same time, nobody wants to see anybody not play. Colin McKivitz had a clean sheet. I think that's very, very good. 79 is good. 79's it's 79 out of 100. 79 is good. Colin McKivitz had a clean sheet against the starters. So since we're doing that, like, did he play against the starters or was it against the third? It was against the starters. So that's very good. That's encouraging. Jalen Moore played a little, but Trent's going to be Trent. The offensive line got on the field and got out. Like, they were fine. Like, it necessarily wasn't them anymore. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's not so bad right now. And it's just right now at this point, still preseason. We still don't really know who people are.
And just to answer Jason, I know you said 79 good or bad, just to kind of give you an idea. The scale that PFF uses, 30 is very poor, 40 is poor, 50 is below average, 60 is average, 70 is above average, 80 is good, and 90 is elite. So there's your kind of, just think of it as a normal grading scale. And yeah, I know, Jason, I think from the blocking standpoint, it was much better. That's definitely a thing. My concern now is the penalties, because I think that's the second. I've already forgotten about the Raider game, to be 1,000% honest, Jason. It's preseason, but didn't they have quite a bit of penalties last week as well against the Raiders? So the penalties have been a concern. But yeah, overall the blocking has been or was better. So I'll give you that point. Il Manning definitely did have some issues. But that's seven penalties in preseason week 1. And then 9 last week against Denver. So too many penalties. That's my biggest complaint. Defensive line, man, still not great. Creating much pressure. But I'm kind of like with the offensive line. I'm not really too worried about it until Trent Williams is there. I'm not too concerned about the defensive line until Nick Bosa is there.
Hell yeah.
Mohammed, thank you very much for the donation. Sac State legend Andrew as QB1 over those bums we have in the quarterback room. Stingers up, baby.
Hell yeah.
Stingers up, baby.
Hell yeah.
I like that. I like the Sac State.
Shout out to Muhammad. Hell
Shout
yeah.
out. Hell yeah. I love that. Thank you very much.
If only he had competent receivers on his pro day, his stock would have been through the roof.
I had so much height at receiver too, man, and I was like, I can't overthrow this bozo.
No, the way I performed at that pro day, they should have took me in the 3rd round.
Maybe the most impressive play of the game was watching Javon Hargrave trip up Russell Wilson as he tried to escape the pocket. Because I've seen that play not 350 times where Russell Wilson gets away. So it was kind of cool seeing that happen. And that's what I got on the defensive line.
What I got from the defensive line is J.A. Gravedigger is probably the coldest, sickest nickname easily. And Jesse said, can I block? I block women more than I do anybody. So probably.
So are you concerned about Elon just unblocking everybody then?
No, that's not going to happen. He can't.
That's true.
He can't. That's the thing. It's that's why I live in a world where Ronnie Bell was taking 99 and Jake Moody was taking in the 7th. And there's no community note that is going to show me the truth that's going to change my mind on that. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. As Jamal said, that boy Jason always drinking something. It's the only way to get through 49ers discourse. I mean, luckily for us, Jamal, shout out to my boy, man. I'm happy to see you. Luckily for us, man, our group, our tight-knit group that's here is very level-headed. You know, it's the YouTube comments later from the people that don't know us. I can't believe that Sami Zayn guy said that. And, oh, Jason, you're an idiot. Why would you even say anything nice about Trey Lance when it's like objectively true that he did good things there?
I like that and I mean this joking. I like in your world that people know you as Jason and they know me as the Sami Zayn guy.
I've seen that so many times in our comments. Who let that Sami Zayn guy talk? I'm like, bro, he's like literally the co-host of like.
I can't have my hair down. I remember that one time I had space buns and people were like, "Oh, that guy's talking football. Look at his hair." Like, come on, man.
Look, as Charlize said, and I block women. He asked if I could block. Jesse didn't specify whether it was run blocking. He asked if I can block.
The more I start seeing, I think the Niners got a couple studs at linebacker in this draft: D. Winters and Jalen Graham. What are your thoughts on them, Jason? Because I thought they had a pretty good game, both of them.
They did, but PFF wasn't kind to them.
You know,
PFF again. You know, I can pull it up real quick, but they weren't kind to them at all.
Let's see what I got. I got you. D. Winters' defensive grade was 93. So that's 93. Not very polite.
Well, it's the other young man that you were talking about, Jalen Graham.
Jalen Graham had a 61.6
and a 41.6 tackling.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, not great.
There you go. That's the top. That's the linebacker.
But no, look, Jalen Graham looked really good. D. Winters looks like he's very fast and he's moving around. They're fine. If one thing I'm not worried about with this team is how they evaluate the linebacker position. They found Azeez Al-Shaair. They found Dre Greenlaw. Obviously found Fred Warner. I thought Marcelino McCrary-Ball would have a better chance. I think all of this might be moot if Oren Burks is ready to roll because I still think that the team still views him highly, and he was someone who came in and played Sam right away when he needed him to. So, yeah, it's just I think that, again, the linebacker 3 thing is a little bit overblown just because nobody's really in base, and, I'll say that until I'm blue in the face, but the 49ers are going to have a tough time trying to keep Jalen Graham and D. Winters off this roster because someone's definitely going to try to pick them both up.
Yeah, no, definitely that's going to be the tough one because there's going to be definitely a roster crunch. And I mean, there's a lot of players that should make this team that aren't. And that's kind of the unfortunate thing about the 53. Jason, secondary talk last week. The flavor of the week was Ambry Thomas. Now it feels like Samuel Womack might be on that outside talk because he looked pretty good, and nothing against Thomas. He did have that one blown coverage where Jair Brown made his second consecutive touchdown saving tackle. So that's a good
save the game technically.
Save the game technically. If we had Jair Brown, that's what we're gonna do. Jair Brown won that game, not Jake Moody. Jair Brown won that game for the 49ers.
Ambry Thomas was dinged. 29.6 defensive grade, 32.1 in coverage, but he was dinged because of not only the 50-yard catch that he allowed on the double move, the penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it seems like the 49ers are trying to give him every opportunity to win it. It's just Womack looked a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But if Womack plays, Womack's going to be in the slot, and Demo will move to right. But Womack was incredible. 85 coverage grade on 33 snaps, which was amongst the highest, 21 in coverage. He didn't allow a reception. I think the conversation we need to really have, Andrew Pasquini, is Isaiah Oliver. What are we doing here, man? I mean, when I went through the numbers, right, and I went through his numbers and I sent out a tweet, I think there was something that was a little bit kind of lost when you were evaluating Isaiah Oliver from a pure missed tackles percentage standpoint. And I'll just go through it. In 2019, Isaiah Oliver took 927 snaps. He had an 11.3 missed tackle rate. In 2020, he took 831 snaps, which are obviously less, 11.8%. 2021, 15.4%. 2022, 17%. You're watching this missed tackle rate go up. And he had a chance to really snuff out a drive with the tackle, and he allowed it to be a first down. That's concerning, especially when you hear Steve Wilks say, well, he's the best available nickel corner. We had to go get him. And it's just like, I don't know what to do, but you don't feel too bad about it because the investment isn't too large.
Yeah.
It's not like they were like, it's not like they threw a ton of money at him. It's like $1 million. But I think we all kind of just walked into this thinking Isaiah Oliver is going to be the starter based on what they've been saying and based on how much they loved him. And he had a pretty good draft profile, but you have to be concerned right now with him right now at this point, right?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, because I mean, him being nickel cornerback number one wasn't just something made up in thin air. That was what we were told going into week one of the preseason. And now it's kind of like the opposite of the Kamla too. It's like, okay, he had the drops in practice, but then last week it was a penalty, and then it was a fumble, and like things are stacking up. We already talked about the coverage concerns with Isaiah Oliver in that one game. Then last week we were talking about how now he's not a shoe-in for starting slot corner. And now we're talking about missed tackles. And it feels like he is trending in the absolute wrong way. And just like Kamla too, he can turn that around with a good performance on so Friday this week. I don't like that. I just like saying Sunday. We're just gonna say Sunday.
Friday Night Football?
It's Friday this week, but like it's Sunday.
Wait a minute. Saturday and Sunday is mine?
Yeah.
I can hit the streets?
Block females on Twitter? Oh, yeah. Busy weekend plan for Jason Aponte.
Maybe it's time to post another picture with my thighs out.
Hey, man, you go do some thought in a yard house. What a weekend.
Oh, get some shrimp tacos? We cook.
Ooh. But yeah, man, Isaiah Oliver can absolutely fix it. But if you're asking me right now, I think Diamador Lenore is your slot corner. And I don't think it's remotely close at this point.
Well, there are also different ways to go about this, right? Diamador Lenore has shown you so much, especially at the end of the season. What if there's instances where you're just like Diamador Lenore can kick inside and Ambry Thomas can play outside on bigger spots and you find the way? Like, there's definitely ways to go around this. Like, it doesn't have to be set in stone that Lenore has to play outside the entire time. He can play outside on base downs when things are a little bit more spread out and you need and maybe you have maybe you have someone that you need to cover, tight end, somebody who's a big weapon or a slot receiver who's faster. Demo's more equipped to do that, and you can get away with Ambry on the field for a little bit, right? Like, mm-hmm. and that's the thing. It's like, even with this performance that just happened, the 49ers cornerback depth and their room feels a lot better than the way that I was concerned about it before the season started.
Yeah, that is very true. And that was something I wanted to make sure I said, and I forgot to mention it. Jason Aponte, you picked it up. I feel pretty damn good about this cornerback group.
Yep.
And that's something I didn't think I would say at this point. So that's definitely good. I want to mention Jair Brown again. The touchdown save, game winning tackle. We're gonna call it. It's just a good habit to make, man. Is he doing much in coverage? Not that I've noticed. As I said, I haven't watched much tape yet. But making those touchdown saving plays is dare I say, a skill. I'm going to call it a skill because it's good tackling. You can't. This isn't Madden with Madden animations where you get stuck in something. You got to stop a person's full momentum going into the end zone. Mm-hmm. And Jair Brown has done that consecutive weeks, and that makes me feel like he's a pretty short-handed tackler. So I'm gonna shout him out just for that play. Yeah, man, I feel good about this secondary. I feel very good about this secondary.
I know this isn't 49ers related, but there is a report out that Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts thought he broke his collarbone against the Bears. Oh, that's last season. Who cares? All right, I read that wrong. Who cares? I thought it was during this season.
No, okay. Oh yeah, no, you remember that? Yeah, that was the whole thing. Remember when people reported it? That's okay. That's okay. Jason didn't report. I didn't hear anything. Jason, time for your favorite part of the podcast: special teams.
Let's do it.
Not good.
Not great.
Not good. Jake Moody, he missed the.
No. Don't start there. Can I start?
Don't start there.
Don't start
I know where you're going. Is it dare I say, a booming onion we're going to talk about here?
Nothing infuriates me more than a third-round kicker than a fourth-round punter.
Yeah.
You have one job, and it's to punt the football as far as you can. I am not the most athletic man, but I'm sure that I can punt the football past 20 yards. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, and
shaking a ton of them. Come on. And all anybody ever brings up about Mitch Wishnowsky is that one tackle. Who cares? If your punter has to tackle people, your coverage didn't do a good job. God, special teams is going to be the death of me with this team. Like, I swear to God, it is going to be the death of me with this team.
Yeah, and to pull it back, like it is preseason, is what it is. But if we see that in the regular season with what was it? It was a 30, a 31, and a 35-yard punt. And I believe that's a combined total of 96 yards. I'm not trying to say that Jason and I are concerned. Jason's more paranoid about special teams than I am. But
it's just my shtick.
It's not your shtick at this point. Shtick lasts like a week. Like you just don't like.
It's a bit.
That's okay.
It's a bit.
But like to me, it is very. It's not concerning, but it's just kind of something that you can't look past because that's not a good game. Like no. Let's just be honest. So like whatever, man. It'll go away. We'll fix it. Whatever. That's not good. The thing I was going to mention, missed PAT by Moody, goes 3-for-3 game winner. Whatever. Deshaun Jameson, muff punt, fumble. Denver picks it up, scores on the next play. His next punt return, instead of just trying to get what he can, he tries to dance around. Didn't look as aggressive going into it as he had. 2 punts, no yards for return. That's not very good. And then I believe Denver had a 40-yard kickoff return that led to a touchdown 2 plays later. Special teams are a little concerning right now. Just to be 1,000% honest, I felt like last week wasn't great either. Just not good. This car has been trying to parallel park for the last 5 minutes. It's the funniest thing. It's behind my screen, and I keep noticing the same car is trying to parallel park. It's been
look. You know what? I think after 1 or 2 attempts, if I don't feel comfortable, I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah, they just gave up. They just left as I called it out. Maybe they're watching and they're like, "Oh my God, Andrew saw me."
No, I will say this. I am not only an excellent driver, I am an excellent parallel parker, even in New York. I could be on the busiest street in the middle of New York, and it could be the size of a can of sardines. I will back that thing in and finish it and get it done. I'm gonna turn the music all the way down.
Yeah. That's huge. Turning the music. If your music is up and you're trying to parallel park, you've lost already.
Absolutely not. No, I don't feel pressure. That's when I shine the most.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know what? You know who's most impressed by that? Women. Most impressed by you being able to do that in one shot.
Jason.
One shot, and you're just boom, and then you back it. Done. No banging bumpers, Dusty Gold. Going as close as you can, and then moving up and being able to get it done. There is no other way to win a woman over than being able to parallel park on a busy street. Women that you can block, Jimmy says. A busy street. And finishing the job and just saying, "That's it, girl. Let's go. Let's ride. Let's get out."
Listen, if you avoid banging bumpers early in the night, you be banging those bumpers later in the night.
Whoa, Andrew Pasquini, relax. This is a family show.
Jason, 3 stars. You want to get to that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm going to go a little unconventional with my number 3 star, and I'm going to pick a lot of players here. Every first-team player that played, because I don't know if you've heard me say this yet, Jason Aponte, but football is back.
Oh, yeah. And
just seeing Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and Brock Purdy and Talanoa Hufanga and all of them, it was not to say got my juices flowing. It's for the second time this podcast gets the juices flowing a little bit.
Oh, my goodness, man.
So my 3rd star, every first-team player on the San Francisco 49ers.
Deebo Samuel, man, it's good to see you, buddy. That looked like the guy that we all know. I love that, man. And I think, again, today, the reports came out that today was his best practice, but Deebo Samuel, you look like you got something to prove, man. And you know what, Deebo? I hope you heard all of it, and I hope maybe they want to be blocked. I don't know if they want to be blocked. That's the worst part. But anyway, Deebo needs to take everything that he's heard about everybody and turn it into something else. So yeah, Deebo Samuel, 3rd star.
My number 2 star, it's got to be Ronnie Bell. It's got to be Ronnie Bell. 7 receptions, 114 yards. A lot of that came in the 4th quarter with Trey Lance as his quarterback, I believe. He had that big 40-plus yard play that really set the Niners up field goal range. Ronnie Bell, man, lock on the team. Ronnie Bell, you are a San Francisco 49er.
Ronnie Bell, you are a Yak Bro also, by the way. So, yeah, Ronnie Bell, number 2. Sounds like we're leading to –
Are we going to have our first – Number one star on 3, Jason Aponte. 1, 2, 3, Trey
Lance.
Play the kid. Listen, it didn't start pretty. I know it didn't. I'm not taking that away. But my God, he made me feel things at the end of that fourth quarter, man, that, as I said, I haven't felt in a while watching a 49ers quarterback. Listen, if Brock Purdy's the next Patrick Mahomes, according to 49ers Twitter, Trey Lance is the next Patrick Mahomes with a little bit of Jesus Christ mixed in. Let's talk about it.
Trey Lance, keep hooping, buddy. Listen to everything that everybody's saying. Colin Cowherd said that you didn't play well, but he didn't watch the game. The ESPN is posting clips of your first, but they didn't finish, anything like that. Let's go, Trey Lance. Let's go. The one thing that I can always identify with is being doubted, is having people say things about you. I see it all the time. Jason Aponte doesn't know football. Jason Aponte can't do this. Jason Aponte can't do that. Well, guess what? Watch me work, because you're just going to stay mad. Stay mad. Stay saying whatever you want to say. You can't do anything but watch me work. You can't do anything but watch me progress. Trey Lance, keep that same energy that I'm talking about right now. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Don't let anybody stack the deck against you. Work your ass off until you don't have to. I don't want to hear it. Jason Aponte can't parallel park. You tripping. I'll parallel park an 18-wheeler, and I've never even driven one. I will do whatever it is that you say I can't do. And you know what? All you have to do is watch there and stay mad, because you can't do anything about it. Trey Lance, stick with that. Stick with that, please.
Charlene and Ronnie Bell is going to get that 10 jersey.
Zane Gonzalez, the real kicker 10. On this team.
Wow, we talked about a lot today, Jason Aponte, but never forget we're banging bumpers here on the Sprint Ride Option podcast. I don't know what the plan
episode's
is.
Off the rails.
That's okay. It's been off the rail since my internet. Once my internet goes out, it goes off the rail from there. Jason, we haven't talked about it, but my guess is the next time we're gonna stream, since the Niners play at a godforsaken hour on Friday, is probably our normal time on Friday. What do you think? 5:15, right before?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's obviously. Dummy, I forgot. We're obviously going to have an emergency pod in the middle of the week when the Niners acquire Stephon Diggs and Jonathan Taylor, so be ready for that.
Hell yeah.
But then we'll be back Friday, 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is it Eastern Standard Time? Is that about yours? Yeah, it is Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
So 8:30 or 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Jason, do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
That was one of the most fun preseason games. Just fun.
Yeah, dude. It was so funny because watching Lance go, on that final drive, like you almost go into that instinctual thing of like, oh, Niners are down by, what was it, 2? It was 2. It was 20-18. Niners go down 2. Like final drive, like you're just kind of on the edge of your seat, like, oh my God, like can the Niners do this? I forgot it was a preseason game. The second Jake Moody's kick went through, and I was like, oh, it's good, and I was like, oh yeah, that was a preseason game, huh? Count. Yeah, it didn't count, huh? But like, yeah, Trey Lance got me to sit up during a preseason game, and that should mean something.
And at the end of the day, please just have fun. Like that's the other thing, right? It's like I understand we're passionate. Let's just have fun. I think a lot of the fun has been taken out of this because of like the back and forth with people and all that stuff. It's just. And Jesse says Ronnie Bell was a steal at pick 99, steal of the draft, in my opinion, at pick 99. And Charlene says we're gonna do a emergency episode when Nick Bosa signs.
That's a good one. I guess that's more realistic than just Stephon Diggs and Jonathan Taylor. I guess.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that was fun. You might as well start having fun with these games that don't count, because the games that will are going to give you heartburn. You're going to stop like talking to your friends and stuff. And there's going to be relentless like roasting and stuff going on. So yeah, look, at the end of the day, we still talk about a kid's game. We still talk about a kid's game played by professional adults who get paid an exorbitant amount of money for it. But at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, then we shouldn't be talking about it in the way.
Yeah. And the way I see it, guys, like it's the preseason. Let's have fun with it. We have plenty of times before the Niners disappoint us in week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like we have plenty of time to panic about that, but like it's the preseason right now, Jason. Let's have fun before we overreact to the 49ers losing to the Steelers in week 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Yeah.
we're all going to yell at each other after, week one when the 49ers come out, slow start. And I don't know how the game's going to
And
end.
lose. And lose. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's a very.
Probably.
I'll tell you this.
Listen.
I'm not going to be betting on that game. Not one way or another. No way.
For how many times 49ers Twitter has had the opportunity to dunk on Jared Bailey? Let's just give him week one. Just get the week one. Let him have his fun.
Are you aware of Jared Bailey's latest proclamation?
Do I want to be?
You do.
Okay, what do we got?
If the Las Vegas Raiders win 12 games with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's gonna get Jimmy Garoppolo's face tattooed on him. And I literally went under his comments and I said, "Stop doing this. Stop saying things like this. Have you not learned?"
Well, if he was a real 49ers Twitter person, wouldn't it be on his butt?
He just said anywhere.
He's gonna get Jimmy G on his butt.
Jimmy G is gonna win 12 games now just because Jared Bailey said it.
Yeah, because Jimmy G just wins, buddy.
I'm literally running to my sports book after this so I can place my futures bet of the Raiders winning the AFC West and not the Kansas City Chiefs just because Jared Bailey said that. I love you, Jared, but you gotta stop doing it.
I love you.
You gotta stop doing it, Jared. Have you not learned from the shirt debacle? Please, just stop. Look, Jimmy Alford. I can't believe I'm rooting for Jimmy G now. Maybe the real franchise quarterback are the friends that we made along the way. And Jimmy, we can still not quit you because we still need this to happen.
Jim Everett, I've missed you, buddy.
Yeah, man, love Jim Everett, man. I need Marketing Pro back. If you know who
Marketing Pro,
yeah, we need him back. I haven't seen Don Burr in the 2 shows. Yeah. But yeah.
Hey, man, we're close, Jason. We have one more fake football game to talk about, and then we got the real games. And here we go, man. We are as close as we've been as of this second. Now we're even closer than when I just said that. So, Jason Aponte, it is always a great time talking football with you, man. I love this. I'm having so much fun, but we got to end it. Jason Aponte, as always.
Let's go Niners. And Comcast, I'm coming for you.
Figure it out. Ronnie Bell, best 99th draft pick of all time.
Easily.
Welcome,
everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it.